Welcome to Romancing the Dungeon, a softcore D&D adventure about 4 heroes on the greatest quest of all, to find true love. Previously on Romancing the Dungeon.
A wave of light just exploded from the blue gemstone Nate is currently holding in his hands. Hedana spoke and declared her side in this battle.
I'm gonna run up behind Gleif and just grab the back of her head and shocking grasp.
I will cast Dissonant Whispers on Norris.
This is not how it was supposed to go. She's dead. It's mine.
I'm going to shoot Norris.
Norris just gets shot right in the back and he just falls flat to the ground. Fia, Nate, and Hephaesta, you turn just to see Thane, his lips pressed to Arda, collapsing in a heap. Arda stops. You just hear outside something strike the roof of the Flatston estate. I bring this entire shithole down on top of all of you. My grave, your grave. Okay, are you lonely or miserable or, plain horny or whatever it is? Have you taken the first steps to solving all your problems, at least the dirty ones? Welcome to D8, Devoted Desire, Dreamy, Dapper Dates for Dejected, whatever. My name is Roz Greypurse, founder, CEO, and love wizard. And seriously, shut up! This show is finally getting good. No questions, no comments. Just shut up and listen with your earballs. Give me a perception check, Fia.
21.
You just hear a muffled sort of voice. Just. Where? Go on, boy. Go on, boy. Go on. And a few moments later, you just hear kind of a scratching and a digging overhead and just a howl. Oh, you're a good boy, Ratty. Overhead, you just hear things being pulled around you. Just rubble being pulled and shifted. And then there's a crack and you see staring down as you look up Nana and Rash. And there's just a face full of drool and some of it splots on you.
Oh my god. You're okay.
Of course we're okay. You need to stay still. Rash is a really good digger. Oh, he's a good digger. Oh, you're a good digger. And his whole body is waggling as he wags his tail.
Oh, I love
and he's just digging into the ground.
Have you found any of the others?
Okay, girl, I just said you just need to,
I know, I'm sorry.
Then are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, just stay still, okay? Rash digs down and kind of through the rubble. Nana is just smashing stuff with her heavy hammer. Some time passes. Your head, neck, chest, and like the shoulders are kind of freed. And Nana just kind of tries to hoist you out. You're covered head to toe in dust and soot. As you're dragged out of the rubble and on top of the ruins of what is the Flatston estate, you see small fires burning everywhere. In the distance, you can just make out billowing clouds of smoke pouring across Tezrab. Turning your head to the right, you just see the 2 moons of Arcanum shining on the lake. The air is cold, but the smoke and the fire stings at your eyes.
I kind of just give myself a stretch to see how I feel after being under the rubble.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm okay. I know Thane and Hephaesta were near where I was when this all went down, and I start trying to rummage around to see if I can find them as well.
Okay, no, you need to just... You're in shock, love. Love?
I don't care.
She just grabs your face.
And I start crying.
Okay, that's doing nobody a world of good. I don't know whoever told you crying at the scene of a collapsed building. Tears are not required. So
I need to help my friends.
You do, but you just need to shut up. Okay? And she just squishes your face really.
Okay.
Take a breath. You're alive. They're probably alive as well. Like, I've tried to kill Thane so many times. It's unbelievable.
I hope so, because he was pretty beat up before.
That's Thane. He's usually like that. Rash, and she whistles. go searching. Oh, is that good? Search her. And like she's now rubbing his belly, and his whole belly just jiggles as one big kind of furry barrel mess.
As she's doing that, even though I'm sitting down, I'm still looking around to see if I can see any sign of them.
Rash is kind of circling. Occasionally he kind of digs, but he can't get a scent.
I get up. I know she told me to sit down, but I get up and I start digging around the rubble back near where I was.
Oh, I really wish. And she just she slaps the hammer in her hand and she's like, no, Nana, not now. You were here. And she points at, so if we dig, and she's looking around, where do we dig?
And I kind of point, so like the whole, where I was is right in front of me. I kind of thinking about, looking around, seeing, is there much of the building there?
There's nothing.
Not even the outline of where the walls
there's
or anything.
There's parts of the exterior walls still standing, but you don't see anything that was the ballroom, the balconies. Most of the building has collapsed in on itself.
Okay, so seeing kind of where the garden was out through the stained glass window and where I came out of, I kind of put my hand over the area beside it where I'm guessing they are.
Give me a perception check.
Natural 20.
You just close your eyes and you take a breath and you look at kind of where you are now, where they pulled you from, where the window might possibly definitely was. You don't see the statue. You don't see anything that was there only moments ago. But as you look around, you hear something scratching.
I start digging it where I hear it straight away.
Oh, Jesus. And Nana just lets out a whistle. Rash comes over and he's giving you a hand. Give me a roll of a d20 with advantage.
17.
It's taking you a bit of time. Like as you're digging, you're kind of pulling through with your hands, and you can feel like you've torn some of the skin on the tips of your fingers. You've kind of cut the palm of your hand on a shard of glass. But as you pull it free, they're sort of lying face down in the rubble. You see Thane, and next to him you just see a hand that's sort of scratching at some of the rock.
I reach out to touch the hand.
Hephaesta, you feel someone touch you.
Can I just grab her?
The hand squeezes you back.
Okay, it's Hephaesta. We can get her out.
Nana is just there again. They're trying to get through it as safe as they can, and just like watching you kind of frantically pulling at just chunks of the rock. Fia, is it?
Yeah.
I think that's what Thane said your name was. You need to slow down. Okay. You pull the wrong chunk of rock here, it all comes down on them and us.
I stand back because now I know where they are. I'm going to leave Nana and Rash to finish it off and start maybe looking for Nate.
Nana is a little bit more calculating in where she's striking and telling kind of Rash where to dig and sort of pull at stuff. Hephaesta, you hear the occasional kind of around you, and then you just feel something kind of lick your hand, just kind of to reassure you. Rash kind of bites down into your armor and tugs, and you feel yourself shifted. And as you're being pulled out of it slowly by Rash, Nana is she's grabbed Thane by the scruff of his neck and the belt of his pants, and she's sort of dragging him out of this hole as well.
Seeing them out, I'm like, okay, and I start looking around for any sign of Nate that I can find.
Give me an investigation check. Hephaesta, you just see everything around you is just, it's in ruins. The estate is in bits.
17.
You don't see him.
Do I see anything of his at all anywhere? No. Nothing. Who found you? We need to find Nate. He's under here somewhere. I don't know where he is.
Can I just sort of like wipe a bunch of the dirt and dust out of my eyes and crawl over to Thane and just, I don't know, try to see if he's alive in any way?
Give me a medicine check.
18.
You lay your head on his chest. It's strange. You hear a heartbeat, but he feels cold.
Can I spare the dying again?
A little bit of the warmth kind of comes back to him, but he still feels cold.
I just sort of sit there a second and watch her, and then very slowly get up and half-heartedly start looking around.
Okay.
Do like,
give me a perception check.
15.
You don't see or hear anything like other than the fire roaring. You don't see him. Is this it? We're all out?
No, we're not. Nate's still under there somewhere.
doesn't really.
There's one more.
He was married to Eugenia. Remember you were trying to take her?
I remember that part. I just don't remember meeting that guy.
It's for the best.
If you say so. Rash, and he's like, he kind of treats me, go home. And he's like, okay. He bounds out of the ruins.
What?
Yeah, he just starts running.
I follow him fast as I can.
Nana just kind of like, Rash, you grizzly. And she just throws herself onto the ground. She's like, I'm wrecked. Like her hands are cracked and bleeding from like smashing so much stuff. And she likes smashing stuff, but now she's tired.
I'm still trying to find anything I can. I'm walking around trying to remember where he was.
Yeah. You're gonna just... You might want to just sit yourself down, lass.
No, wait, he's still under here somewhere.
Oh, God. I might just talk to Thane. And she just turns to kind of start talking. She's, so how you been? Yeah. There's no response, and that's how she kind of likes it. So she just starts telling you about her day, which literally started when she woke up
2 minutes ago.
in a cellar, heard some stuff crashing around her, and she fled with Rash. Like the end. It's a very quick day for Nana. Hephaesta kind of giving chase. You see Nate being dragged by the shoulders out of the perimeter of the house, out onto the lawn. The person dragging him stops when they see you and put their hands up. I was like, right, okay, so squaresies.
If you get the fuck out of here right now.
Okay, don't have to tell me twice, but and he points over his shoulder. I'll leave that to you. Okay. And he just runs. He's just running. Stepping out, you just see the glowing embers of a cigarette on a stick. And a slow drag lights up the air, the darkness around her, and the well-painted face of Eve, the unblemished, sparkling sequined gown, the purple trimmed fur hood and cape across her shoulders. Not exactly how I thought it would go, Hephaesta.
It's a little anticlimactic, I'll give you that.
Well, he's here now. Make with the stabbing.
It's more fun if he's awake for it. There's still time.
No, there really isn't, Hephaesta. So, make with the stabbing. I'll wait. And she kind of folds an arm under her elbow again. And just the cigarette smoke lighting up around her.
I pull out the dagger and I walk over and I kneel down next to him. And I kind of look at her for a minute. And I just give him a bit of a slap to wake him up.
You just feel a cold slap strike you across the face, Nate, and as you blink your eyes open, standing over you, or kneeling over you rather, is Hephaesta.
Oh. Hi.
Hey, sleepyhead.
Really? Sleepyhead. You just hear a voice calling from somewhere behind Hephaesta.
And I'm holding the dagger up, and I'm not pointing it at him, but it's within sight now. And I'm just sort of staring.
What's up? You, what happened? You okay?
Cute. He's feigning concern.
I will be okay. And I hold the blade up to his neck.
Oh. What?
You... have hurt me so much. And this is the very least you deserve. And I press it just a little bit closer.
just stare into her eyes. Very carefully sort of swallow and just sort of look to see the Hephaesta I knew in her eyes, see if there's a glimmer of anything. And I say, yeah?
You can't talk your way out of this one.
I know.
I just need you to know what you've done to me. And she's crying. It's not a sob, there's tears running down her face. But the blade doesn't move.
I slowly bring my hand up to hers and I say, it's okay. And I slowly start to press it.
Fucking piece of shit. I pull my hand away and I throw the dagger at Eve's feet.
Oh, Hephaesta. How utterly disappointing. You could have had everything. You were my protege. I saw you like a daughter. And you pick that squibbling mess. I'm pretty sure he's pissed himself, Hephaesta. And yet you would pick that over everything you've desired for the last number of years. You throw it all away. You cast your own mother away.
You're no family to me.
Not anymore. And she bends down and she picks the dagger up. I suggest you and your boyfriend go regroup. This isn't over.
I just grab Nate by the shirt and just drag him away as fast as I can.
Wagging the dagger. Tick. Tuck. And she points the tip of the blade at you. Time, Hephaesta, makes a fool of everybody. She stands there, again, the blade and the dagger in one hand, cigarette in the other. She's a classy bird, is Eve. And she takes a drag on the cigarette. Well, seeing you drag Nate, Hephaesta, kind of over the rubble and towards the rest. Nana is like, see, I told you. There, look, he's... If that's the way he's meant to look, fine. And she just gestures at Nate.
I just kind of collapse onto my knees, thankful.
You might want to maybe deal with old Thane there.
Oh, shit. I get up again and I run over to Thane.
You can feel a pulse, but he's unconscious.
Has anyone got anything? Like a potion, something?
Yeah. I've got something from Magukit, and I pull out my slightly better healing potion.
Yeah, it's 3d4 plus 2.
10.
Thane, you just... A really sort of thick liquid rolls down your throat with a slight hint of tequila at the end of it, kind of burning as you cough and open your eyes. And you see Nate kind of kneeling over you with a potion bottle poured around your mouth. And Hephaesta and Fia, Rash and Nana all looking at you. And then, Fia, you just get a punch on the arm from Nana. See? Told ya.
How?
Alive. always just looks like shit.
I start rubbing my arm.
Thane just kind of just spits a load of blood on the ground and goes, "What the fuck?"
A building fell on us.
When Thane sees Nana and Rash, like, his right arm shoots up and is immediately caught by how weak he is. He's like, you're not dead.
Rash just puts your entire arm in his mouth and he just licks, like, literally kind of from your elbow.
I leave it limp because I can't hold this up.
And yeah, he's just nudging into you with his big snout.
Looking around at everyone, I give Hephaesta just a quick hug.
I'm still like crying and shaking, and she probably thinks it's because of all of this. I just like shove her off me, and I'm just like, not the time, Pia.
Not to break up this little love fest between you girls, but should we maybe just get out of here?
Yes,
I need a drink. Sykes?
He's fine. He's not dead.
He
Of course he's not dead. He's Sykes.
Oh, he's not in great shape either, though.
Ah, look at the state things then. I'm sure Sykes is 10 times better.
He can't walk anymore.
So what? Sykes will still kick the shit out of all of you.
Well, okay, let's go back to him. So
Thane kind of starts to pull himself up. Where's Eugenia? I couldn't get her out.
You just hear some footsteps on the rubble. Slow, fat footsteps moving across the rubble in the dark towards you. You all see Eve, and immediately Rash is just down and like something, like the hairs on his back are standing. Oh, Hephaesta, look. Oh. And she's just pouting, like her big, fat, plump lips. 2 fingers tucked between her first chin. She's, you got yourself a little family. Oh, is that what happened? Did they fill your heart with love?
Just do whatever you're going to do to me.
Oh, no. See, I'm going to do all of that first to them and make you watch. And then, and only then, Hephaesta, will I let you see your end.
Don't fucking touch them.
Or what?
Can I throw a double Eldritch Blast at her and regret it for the remainder of my very short life?
You throw your hands up, and the flames conjure around you. Red and gold. And then nothing. A deal is a deal, my child. You are cut off. Are we going to cry?
Of course not.
As for the rest, light from her cigarette glows brighter. She just starts to shake, like she's becoming uncomfortable in her body. Well, your little trip to the library had some things out of the bag earlier than I thought, but I'm just kind of flexing and twisting. I think we might need to even some of the odds here. I mean, even with a depowered Hephaesta, she's got claws. And she just holds a hand out, and the rubble starts to shift. And her shadow moves out from her, and it becomes much larger. Thane, your fader goes off. And then it's gone. As that shadow moves, it's gone. It's not Fae. The shadow takes the form, as you see it trace and spread, of a man reaching into a block of shadow and pulling out a beating heart, and the hand extends outwards. And from the rubble shift the bodies of Ardat and Norris, and the shadow from Eve just rips itself from her, and she collapses with a and she falls to the ground, and the shadow moves around the ruins. too long have I watched from shadow. But now that my beloved roams freely, perhaps it is time I return to the world of Arcanum and make myself known to the people. I am Asmodean, keeper of shadows, wisest of the wise. The bodies of Ardat and Norris are brought together, and a pillar of darkness and shadow just twists up from the rubble and engulfs them both.
I just sort of put my arms out and try to like gather them behind me a bit and just really sorry, guys.
Thane sits up, points a finger at it. Stay back, and bonfire right between us.
Fire just erupts between ye and this pillar of black light. Every now and again, you just see sort of through, as they kind of fall free from it, the twisted, snarling faces of Norris and Ardat. And as the light from the fire just burns into the sky and casts shadows away from me, you see that the pillar crumbles in on itself until standing there kind of haunched and crumpled over itself, the twisted form of Shadow, Ardat, and Norris combined.
I am the Shadow of Asmodean. Welcome to a new age of darkness.
Roll for initiative.
11.
14.
22.
14.
Okay. Fia, you are up. This twisted, hunched over form kind of just stands, and there you just see the tormented faces of Norris and Ardat, both scowling, both writhing in agony. The claw-like forms of Ardat in his incubus form. He stands at about 6'5", haunched over on these twisted, almost goat-like legs.
Seeing the faces of these two and remembering what they put us all through, I pull out my Raven's Talon and I'm going to fire an assassin arrow at them. That is an unnatural 20.
Okay, roll for damage.
13.
Okay.
And they now have disadvantage on attack and ability checks.
So without even kind of hesitating, just as it stands and ready, you draw another arrow and you fire. The assassin arrow just twists through the air. It strikes the Shadow of Asmodean and the arrow burns on contact. Ooh, it's Nana. Oh, on the money, Nana, you sneak. 6. Yeah, Nana just kind of follows suit and just draws her own arrow from a longbow and fires. As the arrow strikes the Shadow of Asmodean, it just erupts in flame as it hits its body. Thane.
Okay. Is it an action or a bonus action to take a potion?
Action.
Yeah.
3d4
No,
plus 2.
I like his one.
Yeah, just mix them up as it goes along.
That is a 3, a 4, and a 2, so that's 9.
Sorry, you got 9 in total.
No, I rolled 9.
Oh, plus 2 is 11.
And with my bonus action, gonna grab some rubble. Magic stone this guy.
Okay.
Oof. 13 isn't gonna hit, is it?
No, it's not. You grab just a handful of stones from the ground, hold them up, and they just fly straight from your hand. Before they even strike the shadow, they turn to dust.
I'm going to just stand in front of everyone like I've got this tough bone. It's like, just everyone get back, I can take a hit.
Thane, as you these magic stones kind of fire from your hand, and you just kind of you're kind of maneuvering like Hephaesta had kind of put herself in harm's way, but you've kind of, after chugging a potion, throw the glass to the ground. It smashes, and you step in front of Hephaesta. As you kind of stare at Asmodean, you just see him almost, again, like that sort of hazy blur Ardat did when he went ethereal. The shadow moves 20 feet, like as a blur, like just, and it's like a smoke trail, and he is now 10 feet from the bonfire.
Can I tell if this is a fey fiend or undead?
Yes, so you can tell it is a fiend.
Excellent.
Nate. Oh, I skipped Rash.
Good boy, Rash.
Good boy, Rash.
Rash shakes and he gestures at the saddle on his back. You all hear some bottles sloshing around. Nate.
I reach into my pocket to see if the blue gemstone is there.
You scramble, but you reach into it. There's nothing. It's not there.
It's not there at all. I pull out my disco stick and I say, bring it on, and I twirl it around and throw it up in the air, and that's my performance. And
Give
then
me a performance check.
do a spin and try and catch it.
Jesus Christ, he's really going for it.
Where's the blade, Eve?
Yeah. I changed
18.
my mind.
Yeah, it's charged.
And I glitter dust.
What's the DC?
Mine's a 15.
21.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Who saw that
matter.
coming?
Yeah, so he just... It's more that most of the glitter is burnt up in the fire from Great Bonfire Magic and Magic. But he is now coated head to toe in glitter. And he's a very shiny shadow of Asmodean.
It's so scary.
Hephaesta.
I just sort of grab onto the back of Thane's shirt and I'm like, don't do this. Guys, don't go. Just run. Go. And then I cast Toll the Dead at him. If I'm allowed to do any magic ever again.
You throw your hands out and you just kind of bring them together almost like that ringing of a bell. And nothing comes to you.
I still just like shove at whoever's near me and I'm just
Okay.
like, just leave.
Rash is not like...
Do I have movement? I'll run over to Rash.
He's kind of next to you all. As you kind of move over to Rash, you can see that there are these little pouches on his saddle. Mygo. He just holds a finger kind of aloft and kind of tracing it in the air. The bonfire, the flames from it kind of lick and hiss and spit. And they just they move towards him like they were kind of being gathered. And he just starts to twirl them until there is a ball of fire in his hand. And he just throws it straight at you, Fia. What's your AC?
14.
28 to hit. You take 6 damage as you are struck by this ball of fire that burns into you.
I'm taking half of that with uncanny dodge.
He stands still at the fire. Fia.
I run over to Rash as well to see what he's got going on.
There are literally, you see Hephaesta is kind of roughing through it and you've kind of opened some of the pockets. There are, on either side of him, there are healing potions stuffed into little pockets. There's 3 potions on either side.
Okay. Can I chug one of the healing
So long ago.
potions?
Yep, that's your action, but
Yes.
it's a standard healing potion.
Yeah. So what do I get for standard?
2d4 plus 2.
Go, Fia, go.
6, 8. Back.
Yep. You just, you bite into the cork, pull it out, and Nanda's like, hey! And then she kind of looks at us and she's like, just chug him.
Can I shout with Nate and can I toss one to him? Would that
No.
Done.
No, that's an action. so
fine?
no.
Okay.
Screw you, Nate. Nana, she's going to fire again.
The bad bitch.
Nana is a bad bitch. She's just hit him for 22, not 22 damage.
Oh, Jesus.
Could you imagine?
You saved our day.
Okay, Nana, go you, girl. She's pissed. She, again, as you're kind of healing up at the mobile ambulance known as Rash, she draws another arrow from her quiver and just kind of pulls it back tight. This one's for Sykes, you crazy son of a bitch. And she lets it go and it fires through the bonfire. And just as it's about to catch him right into the neck, it cuts and then it erupts into flame.
Who is Sykes?
And his head just kind of twists and rolls around. Rash moves over to Nate and Thane, like he's put himself kind of beside you. And again, he rolls like he's like waddling and there's potion bottles next to him. He's not stupid, he's not going to fight in that thing. You're on your own. Thane.
I could clearly tell that Hephaesta was trying to do something that didn't work behind me. I grab my rapier and I look for her like, Hephaesta, just take this. And I kind of like just pop it, lob it to her.
Throw a sword at me.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Roll for attack. Yeah.
handle first, like just kind of pop
yeah,
it to
you
her.
just Thane just kind of reaches back with his rapier and hands it to you.
That was an action, I presume.
Nah, you just handed it to her. Like if you threw it, like she's literally beside you, so you're like, here you go, here's the sword. So again, freebie.
Cool, thank you. I'm going to cast on myself protection from good and evil, specifically from fiends?
You just, again, you hold up your cursed blood hand, and you raise it, and you just make a symbol. Like you just draw kind of in the air, and you focus on it, and you focus on the shadow of Asmodean. And as you draw the symbol, the smoke kind of whirls around you, and you are washed in the smoke.
And as that happens, the bonfire does disappear because that was concentration.
Perfect. Yep. He blurs towards you again. As he gets closer, you feel an intense heat. What you thought was the bonfire, it's coming off of him. And blue and black flames are licking and hissing at the edges of his skin, like a film of fire. Nate.
You said he's 40 feet away from us.
20 feet.
Oh, in that case,
Quick
I
boy.
cast Tasha's hideous laughter and say, "Leave us alone."
You mean?
And he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
So I failed.
Ooh, oh my god! Nice.
Nate, you just leave us alone, and it's just. His chest just tightens, and his throat seizes, and he falls to his knees, and he's bundled, and he's almost clawing at his throat to get the noise out. Hephaesta.
Can I chug this health potion I grabbed?
Yep.
6, 7, 8.
Again, you pop the cork on the potion bottle and you take a chug of it. He gets to roll his wisdom save to get out of this. I rolled the exact same thing I rolled 2 seconds ago, which was 4. Yeah. I seem to be experiencing the same lump of hate in my throat. Yeah.
Wait, I don't know if I want to go up into his business, so I'm just going to pop another arrow at him. That's 24 to hit
That'll do that.
with 14 damage.
Ooh. And Fia's gonna save all of us.
What's wrong?
No, if they're incapacitated, isn't it a crit?
Please stop checking whatever you're checking.
No, because that means she gets more damage.
Yeah.
That's true. Please
Yeah.
check that.
I don't like that. I don't like that he's saying that. No, don't check it. Stop it.
He built this thing to be like specifically Fia proof. Fucking sneak attack bullshit. I don't think so, bitch.
So with this monstrous form sort of haunched over on its knees on the ground, Fia, you draw another arrow and you let it loose. This time the arrow strikes him and he's knocked back a little bit as the arrow hits him in the chest, but then the arrow just catches fire in him. As the flames just burn away the arrow, he stands up and he moves like a blur between all of you. And I believe I'm within kind of 5 feet of everyone at this stage, right?
If he moves in 5 feet, I use skirmish to move 15 feet back without promoting a reaction.
Sneaky bitch.
As he blurs like this haze of smoke towards you, Fia, you cartwheel. You're like, no! And you cartwheel backwards. Everybody else, the shadow of Asmodean just lands itself in front of you, and that heat from 20 feet away that was hot is now boiling. It is just this ferocious, raging fire. Everybody give me a Constitution saving throw.
16.
12.
19.
You're actually... God damn it. God, Rash did better than everybody.
Good.
You
Good boy.
all you shrug it off. The heat as it almost overwhelms you. You just shrug it off. Nana's going. She is going to swing and hit with her heavy hammer. Oh yeah, she does. Okay, she really is. As he just appears, Nana just swings back almost as if she was about to hit like a ball. As the shadow of Asmodean just forms itself in front of you, she strikes it with the flat head of her hammer right into his guts, and he heaves up bile that ignites in the air. Nana roars as her hands catch fire. As soon as the hammer connected with him, her hands erupted in fire. Fia, sneak attack.
Yeah, just add that damage. 14 extra damage.
As you just see Nana hit him in the guts and then her hands alight, you draw an arrow, you fire, strikes him in the shoulder. This one, it almost bursts clean through and then it just erupts in fire. He pulls the arrow out, flaming, and it just burns and turns to ash in his hand.
I will bring the darkness.
Rash is going to make a wisdom saving throw because, Oh no, he's a good boy. He's gonna be stupid though.
Oh no.
Rash bites him. Like on seeing Nana just cry out in pain, Rash just roars like a "Roof!" and sinks his jaws into the shadow and pulls him right down, knocking him prone. Yelps as his mouth burns and flames kind of scorch at his pus and his tongue and his gums, and he's just kind of clawing at his face and he's trying to bury his head into the dirt and he's just yelping. Thane.
I immediately run up. I have the feather sword in one hand, and with my free hand, I try to like just push Rash off. I'm like, get off, go boy, get. And with the other, 2 attacks straight down on him.
First is with are both advantage?
Both advantage if you're in 5 feet, yeah.
18 and 21.
They'll hit.
Cool. 10 damage.
Combined.
Yeah. It's weak sauce.
As you slice into you swing them both in. They hit him in the side, and then as the wind sword just cuts through the air, a maelstrom of wind whips around you and slams into the shadow of Asmodean, and he is shoved back 10 feet from everyone. Nate.
I cast Dissonant Whispers at level 3, so he has to make a wisdom save.
10. I never have to give good back.
So I have to. That's 5d6.
Holy
And then I can roll 1 digitally. 15 points of damage. And has to use all of its movement to get as far away from me as possible.
So you knocked it 10 feet away.
Yes.
It gets up, that's 20 feet gone, so it moves another 20 feet. So it's kind of back where you'd lit the bonfire. Hephaesta.
I'm just standing there with this rapier in my hands, like I don't know what to fucking do with this thing. So I just sort of, I don't even have anywhere to fucking put it. I just drop it. And I try a fireball, because that's like a nasty thing, and surely they didn't take that away from me. 17 to hit.
Just on the money. Yeah. Roll for damage.
7.
You hold up your hand and fire red and yellow flames lick at the tips of your fingers, and then they grow, and then it just flies from your hand. It strikes the shadow of Asmodean, and the flames turn black and blue. Bonus action?
Cry?
Okay, you start crying. Give me a wisdom saving throw, Hephaesta.
13.
You are now enraged. You are in the reckless state and must make melee attacks. But you get to do it at advantage.
Great.
On seeing the fire just absorbed, you are just enraged and you grab the rapier and just start running. The shadow runs straight back into all of you, and it brings both of its claws up Thane, down on top of you. What's your AC?
A 19.
Okay.
It has disadvantage on attacks on me. No, wait.
It doesn't matter because I just rolled a nat 1 on my first attack.
Okay.
Nice.
The first claw, it just swipes and it just scratches into the bone plating across your chest. You feel it. It hurts, but there's no pain. Like, there's no damage.
Like a funny bone.
The second one, it lunges straight at, but as it does, it loses its footing in the rubble and it kind of falls on one knee. You have a free attack.
Oh, that is not going to cut the cheese. That's 11.
You swing again with the wind sword, but it grabs at the blade and just sort of pushes you back. As it catches the blade, then you see that the metal actually heats, and then the fire on the blade just rolls across itself. Fia.
Pot him again. Fuck this fucker. 12.
As the arrow rushes towards it, it's just engulfed in flame. Bonus action.
Okay, I'm just going to kind of stay back where I am.
Okay.
No, it's a
Let them
moment.
take the damage. Good point. Nana bites straight down on her lip, and as it's holding the blade, kind of steady in its hand, she's going to try and clobber him in the back. She swings, but she misses. Like the hammer kind of just bounces off his armor, like it's this kind of on Thane with him kind of on top of you. It's like this hardened scale. It's almost draconic, but it looks to be made of stone. Rash is not gonna bite. He's just his head is kind of buried, and he's not in a good way. He's yelping. Thane.
I will just attack him again, I guess, since we're right on top of each other. That is a 15?
Nope.
Oh, so close. I get a second attack because it's a normal round. Natural one.
As you swing with the, what were you
Feather sword, yeah.
Your wind sword, and what was the other thing you were using?
No, nothing. I gave her my rapier.
Oh, you were just using...
Yeah, just single-handed.
You pull it free from his grip, try to cut through, but he lets go. And as you kind of lunge to kind of stab at him, he just bats your hand out of the way, and he's going to take a swing. I have a +10 to hit with him. 14.
And disadvantage as well.
And yeah, disadvantage because of my protection.
13.
Even better.
Even unluckier.
But then, because you are within 5 feet of it, and so is Nana, take...
Bit of fire damage.
You both take 4 fire damage, yeah. Nate.
How far is he from me?
There's probably 10 feet between you and him, so you're not getting singed by him just yet.
Cool. I will cast Fairy Fire.
So you're either going to hit Thane and Nana and the Shadow of Asmodean, or the Shadow of Asmodean and Fia.
Fia can take it, but like if she might, because I feel like
Dex save.
I feel like I feel like you might make a dex save.
So I have to do a dex save?
Yeah, against
He
50.
failed. What's the point of me even having a bad guy?
know.
Oh yeah, it's 26.
Basically
Okay.
like a Russian gymnast.
So everyone's got advantage on it now.
That was Nate. Hephaesta.
So I'm running at the rapier, and I'm just like,
Double advantage. Roll 3d20.
16, 18, 8.
18 will hit. So you can take the 18 and you're attacking with the rapier.
Yeah, so that's 1.
You just charge at the Shadow of Asmodean, frothing at the mouth with rage. You plunge it into its side and it scratches off some of the basalt that it is its skin, and it just chips away. Take 8 fire damage.
4 fire damage.
You know what? Sometimes I just fuck myself over without even thinking. Yeah, your hands erupt in blue and black fire. That's a 23, so 21 will hit.
Yes, it will.
Take 8 slashing damage, Thane. This time it just swipes a hand across you and cuts the bone plating armor. You feel it actually slash and rip through some of the bone.
I just realized because this is concentration, I need to be making concentration checks for it.
Okay.
That's my bad. I'll make the first one for the fire.
Just do it now as one thing.
Yep, one big thing.
Oh, that's done.
That was a 2.
That was for the protection for good and evil?
Yeah.
Okay.
No more
So, yep, it just cuts straight into you.
Owie.
And then Nana, he plunges a hand into her and he scratches kind of at her neck. He went to rip her throat. She kind of brought the hammer up in time. Just she's caught across her arm, it's across her neck and deep across her shoulder. Fia.
Going at him again with arrows. A 19
That'll hit.
for 8 damage with sneak attack bonus on top of that. 8 plus 7, 15 damage.
Yeah, Fia, you draw another arrow and you fire. It whizzes through the air, plunges right into its chest as it kind of turns back to kind of claw at Thane, and it holds the arrow in its hand. And again, fire kind of comes to it, but it's a bit slower. Bonus action.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, Nana is. I'm gonna take a swing. Oh, good girl, Nana.
Look at these women coming in and saving us. Marilla, Nana, Fia.
Adana.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hadana. Jesus.
She swings with her both hands clenched around the hammer again and just catches him right behind the knee as he'd kind of turned to face Thane, and the arrow struck him from Fia. Same time though, her hands erupt in flames as she just bashes him into the knee, and as her hands light up, and she just bites straight down and just. And Nana is going for second wind.
Ooh.
Nana wishes she did better, but she's recovered some health as she just breathes through it and she's just focusing. It is Rash. He rushes over to Nana and he's shaking kind of a bottle at her, and she's ignoring him. She's just trying to push him out of the way. Thing.
Yeah, I'll just use both my attacks just to hammer him. He still has the fair fire on him, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. First attack, that's 22.
22 will hit.
Cool. That's 7 damage from the wind blade.
You swing with the wind sword. The first one he knocks back with his hand as the other hand pulls the arrow free. Both hands kind of open though. You slice right across his chest where Fia's arrow hit, and you can see that you've cleaved right through that basalt armor. And he takes a stumble back, and then the wind whips around you once more, and it just surges from behind you through the sword, and he's pushed back 10 feet. Bonus action?
Perhaps a magic stone?
Perhaps a wazer.
Thank you.
Perhaps.
Perhaps not. That's a 13.
With him pushed back, the flames erupt and the stones, the rubble that you throw at him are just burnt away. Nate.
I get within 10 feet and I pull out just the tip. My whip, by the way. And whip him good.
Okay.
So that is a 17. And I do 6 damage.
You crack the whip back, and as you do, it just slices and knifes the air. It cuts through some of the rubble, and then with a flurry, it's out of your hand, and it wraps around its neck, and you pull, and the whip just slices across its neck, and its back kind of rolled in your hand. Bonus action?
Nothing.
Okay. Hephaesta.
Screaming and running at him, and I'm just like...
You should have given me a wisdom saving throw at the end of your last turn, so
never
you can
mind,
do it
hang
here.
No, that's a 9.
Nope, you're still crazy.
I'm screaming and running at him.
Yeah, crazy.
Or
it's a normal day for you.
Well, when you said I was enraged, I was just like, and what's new? I'm just like, leave my friends alone. And I stab him again for another 18. 5 damage.
You charge, drive the rapier straight into him. Take 4 fire damage as you bury the rapier.
4 total?
4 total, yeah, so 2 for you. With you holding both hands, he grabs the blade in his, and fire erupts around him and then around you. The faces of Norris and Ardat just turn and twist tighter around the head, and they both snarl, and you can just see their teeth are just gnawing, and the claws just grow longer, and he just starts heaving. Hephaesta, he brings both down on top of you. 14 and 26. Take 20 damage. He just rips, he's just heaving, and he just buries his claws into you, and he just tears, like you are literally torn across your chest, kind of whipped with a flurry of his claws, spinning, and you are knocked
down. Yeah, I'm gone.
Okay. On your next turn, you'll be rolling for death saves.
Yeah, I will.
Fia.
Seeing Hephaesta fall, I kind of scream bloody murder, basically, and I just start firing at him again. Nat 20.
Ooh. Oh, I was really hoping somebody would crit.
Oh, God.
What does this mean?
Well, that's a crit on the Raven Talon.
Yeah, I know. At least I was really hoping somebody would crit in this fight. And I love you.
Oh, no!
So you do a straight 8 automatically, so roll the d8. So you have 15 damage, so roll the 8.
For another 8.
23 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Fia, you just see Hephaesta torn almost in half. As her body is twisted, she's spun into the air and she hits the ground hard. You bite back and scream, draw an arrow, pull, and you just feel shadows kind of merge around your hand. You let go and it flies free and it strikes the shadow of Asmodean right into the neck. His head actually knocks. And both faces twist and snarl and it roars in pain. The shadow around him whips and recoils, and you see it kind of scratching at its own face. 3 shadows are torn free from it and move and rise around the shadow of Asmodean.
Can I take my bonus action?
Yeah.
I'm going to use Shadow Blade.
With your hand on the handle with the raven, the silver raven head, you feel that shadows coalesce, and you pull free a knife made entirely of shadows, sort of burning at the edges. Nana is actually going to try and take out one of them. You blimey sons of bitches! And she draws an arrow to fire at one of the shadows. Nat 20!
And that one splits again into 2 more. So now there's 5 of them.
Nana, she curses under her breath, draws an arrow, looks at Rash. It'll be over soon, boy. We'll get home to Sykes, I promise you. And she fires, and it pierces the shadow, and it's just torn into pieces with a shriek, and it's gone.
Wow.
Rash, that's a kind of a under his breath thing.
So those 2 other smaller shadows are like right beside us.
Right beside the shadow of Asmodean.
Okay.
Who's 10 feet from you.
Cool. I will run up and just give 1 attack to each of those small
shadows?
guys. Yes. Okay, so one of those is a 16, one is a 21.
Yeah, both those hit.
Cool. One's a 5 and one's a... Sorry, bad maths. 4.
Okay. You charge at it with the wind blade. You slice through the first, and as you move through it, you feel the kind of the wind at your feet. You glide on your knees, get up, turn, and plunge the sword into the face of this other shadow-given form. You can see that it's barely holding its form. The other one is just gone. It's just been torn to pieces. Nate.
I look to the shadow again, the main shadow, the daddy shadow.
The
Dado. And I cast Dissonant Whispers again. Love is the light. So wisdom save.
Nat 20.
Oh, what?
Bollocks.
So 11, so 5 damage. And you don't have to run away from me.
You focus on it, and you seeing Hephaesta fall, whisper just echoes all
Love is
around
the
these
light.
rooms. And the fire, the smoke. You see the shadow of Asmodean kind of hold its hands up, and it just kind of scratches at its ears, and it winces, and it fixes its eyes on you. Behind it, glowing in the runes, about 30 feet in front of you, you see something just blinking. Bonus action?
Nope.
Hephaesta. Death save, please.
My pleasure. 18.
Okay, that's a tick in the live box. The shadow just coughs, and just smoke kind of pours out of its mouth.
The light is a lie. The world will be engulfed in flames and darkness.
Thane, you're next to him. Okay.
Oh, he's going to hit me.
So a 28 and a 26 to hit.
Those will hit me.
10 damage
Okay.
and 19 damage in total.
Sleepy times.
He turns and just slashes, and he catches you kind of just above your jaw and under your jaw. And at the same time, he just plunges his claws into your shoulder and just tears. He's literally trying to remove your arm from its socket. And when you go limp, he just throws you to the ground. The smaller wraith-like shadow falls to the ground and just rushes towards you, Nate. What's your AC?
15.
It just erupts a couple of inches from you and sweeps out with this sort of blade-like shadow. You take a step back as it misses, but it's now kind of hovering in front of you.
I'm still within range of it, or its range.
Yeah, you're kind of within 5 feet of each other, so you'll be able to hit. Via.
Okay. I'm going to use my Blessing of the Raven Queen to get over to this glittering thing.
You can teleport 30 feet, and then you can run the rest to get the glowing light.
The rest of my movement speed, then start making my way back towards
Okay,
Nate.
so you just start running, and as you do, you feel the darkness just kind of wrap itself around you, and then as it envelops, you appear 30 feet from where you were a second ago. Your footing is a little loose under the rubble, and the shadow just kind of turns to look back at you and fixes its eyes on you looking down at Thane, and then the body of Hephaesta.
She will wait.
You plunge your hands in, and you just start pulling at the rubble. They're half buried. You just see a cracked blue gemstone.
And then any movement speed I have left, I'm making my way back.
So you're going to run towards Nate.
Yeah.
So that there's still 20 feet between you and the shadow of Asmodean.
Okay, that's fine.
Nana is going to rush him. She strikes, but it just kind of bounces back, and immediately her hand just erupts in fire, and she recoils, and she's hoveling. Rash runs, grabs her with his mouth, even with the blisters, and there's a yelp, but he smothers it, and he swings her up onto his saddle, and he just starts running. Thane, death save.
Death save for Thane. I'm getting good at these. No, I'm not.
Fail.
That's a fail.
Nate, the shadow of Asmodean blurs and moves. I remembered now. It shifts violently and rapidly towards you. 10 feet in front of you is the shadow of Asmodean.
I suppose I attack the
The little baby one.
the little baby. Oh, with my rapier. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. 24.
I'm actually sick to my stomach.
So that's 7 damage.
You literally just slice straight through it. It's like paper. It's just burnt away. But you've now got a clear look at the shadow of Asmodean right in front of you. His claws are bared and they're just dripping in blood. Behind him, you see the bodies of Hephaesta and Thane lying there.
Can I run and jump at him and sort of like bear hug him in sort of like a grappling type way? I want to grapple him basically.
You can run and throw yourself at him.
Yeah.
We'll both do strength checks. So you're going to take 4 damage.
8.
Oh my god. 5. You barrel straight into him and you grab on, and immediately your armor just flames just erupt out of it, and you feel your skin crackling and burning, and you bite straight down as you see Fia running towards you, and you just grab him, and you're holding his arms. He is grappled. Hephaesta, death save.
That one.
That's 2 against you. Okay, so one more failed death save and you're gone. He's going to try and break out of it, the grapple.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a opposing strength check.
Oh my god, 2.
3. Sorry, he's out of the grapple. You're still going to take a d6 of damage because you're still within 5 feet of him and you were grappling him.
How much did I take the first one? Sorry.
4, and you take another 4 again.
Okay, grand.
He breaks free from your grip and he just shoves your hands back, and like his claws are just kind of pointed at you. Your armor is just burnt and parts of it are melted away. Fia.
So I run to Nate.
Okay, so you're going to run past the Shadow of Asmodean.
Yeah.
So that's going to give me an opportunity attack on you.
He is fine.
22.
That hits.
10 damage. You rush past him carrying the blue gemstone. There's a slight crack in it with a little kind of ray of light just inside. The Shadow of Asmodean, he just slashes out, almost like the sixth sense that you were there, and he slices across you. Bonus action.
I just look at him, and then I look at Hephaesta and Thane lying on the ground, and I just repeat what he said earlier. Love is the light.
The gemstone just lights up a little bit. Nate.
Is it Nate or is it...
Oh, Thane, death save.
That is another one.
Another fail.
And another failure. That's a 5. No pressure.
No pressure, Nate, but
Yeah.
Don't
What
fuck
upward-
this up.
I hope this works. I take the stone and I run at him and I plunge the stone into the space where his heart should be. Because you said he had like a hole, like a swirling sort of mass there.
yeah. Give me a strength check.
Moving everything out of the way.
Oh my god.
Roll the sleeves up. 9.
14. You lunge at the Shadow of Asmodean with the gemstone in your hand and just the light breaking out of it. And as you do, he swings at you. Takes 6 fire damage.
I'm down.
The gemstone falls from your hand as you're knocked to the left. Fia, it's at your feet. Nate, you collapse as you are struck to the ground. Hephaesta.
7.
Everything goes dark. And you feel the breath just leaving your body, Hephaesta. What little bit of you was left vanishes. And there's just stillness and darkness. Shadow of Asmodean. 14 to hit, Fia.
Yeah.
12 damage.
I'm halving that.
Okay.
I'm on 12. I'm fucking halving that.
Okay. Seeing you kind of scoop to pick up the gemstone, he just thrashes. And the first one, he scratches the ground. He narrowly misses your hand. The second one, he bears straight across your back as you feel it rip straight into you. And you grab the gemstone in your hand.
I grab it in my hand and with the ring of the ram, punching it into this sucker. 21.
That'll hit.
And I'm plunging it into that empty space in his chest.
With the gemstone in your hand, the ring of the ram grows tighter, and you feel just this sheer force behind you as the spectral head of a ram with these giant golden horns just rolls out, and you punch with everything you have. And as you do, the gem shatters in the darkness.
Without light, there can't be darkness.
And it just starts laughing. And the gemstone falls to the ground in pieces.
Did you really think that would work?
It was worth a shot. And I'm smiling at him.
He leans down into you, and with his claws, he picks you straight up, Fia. Give me a strength check if you want.
9.
13. Yeah, he's just holding you straight up off the ground, and he's lifting you up. And around you, you see the bodies of Thane, Hephaesta, and Nate, and the ruins of the Flatston mansion, and just fire and smoke and darkness. And as you feel the heat from the shadow of Asmodean grow more powerful, you just hear a voice in the darkness. I give you my heart, Nathaniel. Love is a light in the darkness. And remember that to truly know someone, to truly love someone, you must accept them. Their light and their dark. Fia, looking down into the shadow of Asmodean in that deep black well where you tried to force the gemstone, you just see a crack and a light seep out, and the shadow winces and its body starts to shake violently, and there is just more and more of these cracks forming on it. The same goes for loving yourself. Accept your own light and your own darkness. Then you will be happy and free. And the shadow of Asmodean bursts into light, and you fall to your knees. And as light washes all around you, and you feel yourself losing consciousness, you just hear a voice going, "They're over here, you bloody clots!" And and you start to just dip in and out. But in the haze of everything around you, you see a woman. Long, black, raven hair just twisted around her, standing over Hephaesta's body. She leans down on all hands and knees and whispers in her ear. Can't hear what she says. And she kisses her on the cheek. And she turns and she smiles at you, and she puts her fingers to her lips. And as she stands and she walks into the light, she looks back over her shoulder and she kind of pulls her hair from around her back, and you just see this long, beautiful black tattoo with a heart and a rose in the center of it. Love is light. And you lose consciousness. You feel yourself being pulled upwards, and a voice, a very, very familiar voice, is calling to you. You feel and hear people all around you. But as you kind of go to open your eyes or try to fight it off, your head is spinning. And you just hear, "I was there. I didn't know what she was getting herself into. I ran to the city to try and get help. They were so brave. They were so Gartok and that woman from that club, they were in on it from the start. I pretended to be with them." Go on, Mr. Burbage. Please, if you can. Quillo, struggling to hold you in his arms, makes his way down the path towards a horse. "My duty is to my sister. I have to get her home. She has to be safe. Can't you see she's not well? If you must, I'll tell you everything. I have the paperwork. I have the documents to prove what Flatston and Deep River and Eve were up to the entire time. And they're not the only ones. There are so many people, so many in that city responsible for all of this. And come to Burbage and Sons. I'll give you everything." And Fia, your head is spinning as you just try and stay awake. And you feel yourself sort of falling back into Quillo's arms. And he feels warm. and you feel safe. And he heads to the city. Thane. My poor little warrior. You did a good job, Thane. I almost thought you were joining me on this side for a moment. But you do like to tease.
Don't tell me you were watching the whole time.
Oh, Thane, where you go, I go. I am your heart, and you are mine.
I guess we have a lot more in store for each other.
We do, but that can wait. Bring me the Flatstone heart. It lies in pieces, but even a broken heart has its worth, Thane. You would know. The Flatstone Park. Come alone.
Fine.
You feel a tongue lick your face, and then just hands grabbing you. Thane, my love. Come on, Thane, get up.
Stop, you're
Come on,
actually killing...
Thane.
No, you're killing me.
She's just shaking you back and forth. I learned this, Sykes. I learned this in a class, and she's just shaking you back and forth.
I was dead before, you're killing me more now.
Oh, he's awake, Thane, and she just slaps you across the face.
I wish I was dead.
There he is, Thane.
Oh, you're not dead. Okay.
Marilla is rummaging through the rubble and the ruins of the Flatstone estate. Where's that little beast? Where's that little beast? And she's just hitting everything down again with the copper rabbit, just snacking stuff out of her way. You see she finds Nate, and she's just hovering over him, crying. Like she's just, it's a you stupid little beast, and I told you. And she's just slapping him. Sykes holds out a hand to you, Thane.
I grab it and I let him pull me up, I guess.
And as he pulls you up, you see that he is in a wheelchair.
I kind of like look him up and down, kind of like raise an eyebrow at it, and then like give him a nod and a smile.
He doesn't say anything. He reaches into a pocket and he hands you a piece of paper.
I hold it in my hand and I drop it behind me and cast Create Bomb.
He shrugs.
I shrug back.
So, Thane, you got a place to stay? You wanna crash at Sykes and me and Rash?
If you mean by literally crash and not wake up for at least 3 days, I would love that.
I'll give you one. We got a job.
1.5.
75%. I don't know. What are we doing here? Thane, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm just...
Come on. Pints. And then Rash is like...
I kind of reach down and pet him, and I kind of like give Nana like a light punch in the shoulder. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just glad it's you.
She punches you right back, but kind of into the ribs.
That's where he stabbed me.
Yeah, I know. It's a good spot to hit you.
It is.
Gotta remember that muscle memory thing. I'm training.
Oh. Yeah. Oh,
and
fine.
she just hugs you and squeezes you really tightly.
I kind of pat her back, and I'm like, yeah, it's good to see you, too.
She looks up at you, and there's just tears in her eyes. So you're crashing?
Yes.
Okay, good.
What about the rest of them, though?
Who?
Fia, Nate, Hephaesta?
Fia's not here. The scrawny little elf girl.
Yeah.
No. That Quillo guy. He has her. He's bringing her home.
Wait, Quillo?
Yeah, he got the guard. That's why everyone's here. And she gestures around. You see the city guard is there, and there's some fairly official-looking people mulling around.
Are you telling me Quillo saved us?
Well, if I saved you, he ran out of the building and then got help, yeah, then probably. That's what he did.
Oh, there's just like a long mumbling of like infernal curses, and it's like, okay, fine, but at least she's... Okay, what about Hephaesta? What about Nate?
Nate's over there. We don't know where Hephaesta is.
What?
We got here and it was the three of you.
Like... No, she was right. She was with us.
No, I know. We We left and we
Yeah.
met the guards halfway and we brought them back with Quillo.
And she was gone?
Yeah. Maybe she left.
That...
Everyone, please. A rescue shelter and a micro hospital have been set up just outside the Artisan Gate. Everyone, please. This Ara Corcoran woman with white feathers and brown spots, a rather polished looking beak, and official kind of glasses, and she's just nodding her head. Please. And then you just hear a couple of reporters. Speaker Robinson, can you care to comment on the current situation at the Flatstone estate and the involvement of Councilman Garthop Deep River? Now. All the questions shall be addressed at a press briefing, but for now we must clearly take care of the injured. And she points at this mess.
I raise my hand.
See? That's an injured fellow. Look at him. Can we get your name, sir? Is that Thane Greyline? So she's kind of gesturing the kind of the crowd to back off as the guards are kind of searching the perimeter and checking everything out. Nate, you are pulled out of it by Marilla, who's just slapping you.
Okay. Hi.
You rotten little bastard. Yeah, she just starts slapping you again.
I'm sorry.
First you get married, then you don't invite your own ma to the wedding, and then you go and get yourself killed.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm not married anymore.
Nathaniel. Why you gotta get divorced and not tell your ma? And she just starts slapping you again. Come on. I'm taking you home, kiddo. You gotta go home.
Okay. You're the boss.
She kind of pulls you up a little bit, but then you're kind of like, you're still kind of crunched on your knees.
I try to catch his eye as they're going.
Yeah, you see Thane talking to Sykes and Nana and Rash.
I just kind of give a little wave, a really weak one.
I give you a thumbs up.
Yeah, I give him a nod.
Where's Hephaesta?
Oh, the broad with the boobs, huh? Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. I think she booked it, Nate.
Oh.
They can't find her.
Okay.
I never liked that girl. I always said you were too good for her.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's not with trouble. You were always such a good boy before that Hephaesta broad came into the scene.
Let's go home.
Yeah. And she puts her hand in yours. And she's heading down. And a few reporters are trying to stop you, and she's just swinging at them with the copper rabbit. Get out of here, you bastards! Leave my little nady poo alone. She's leaving you down that winding path. Thane, as you look around, you see that the sun is kind of rising, and there is just a glow of warm light washing over you. The air is cold, and there's a breeze just sort of wafting up the cliffs towards you. And you see Nana and Rash and Sykes looking down at you.
Yeah, I just kind of stand and watch as Nate walks away with Marilla. I turn to Nana and Sykes, and I give Rash a pet on his head. If you guys want to head back to the Copper Rabbit, I'm sure Marilla's gonna get things started. But I need some time up here. You know how it is.
Nana looks at Sykes. Sykes looks at Rash. Rash looks at Nana. And then Nana goes to say something, but kind of Sykes just puts a hand on her shoulder. He nods.
Man,
And he kind of turns, and Nana and Rash follow suit.
I'll see you later.
Pints later?
Yeah, at least maybe.
Good. And Nana kind of clenches her fist and shakes it at you.
How many people are left around here now?
It's just a mulling of guards. The councilwoman and a few higher-looking officials are kind of gesturing for the reporters and some of the onlookers that have gathered to shack off, basically.
I take whatever is left of my leather duster and just kind of pop the collar and make myself as kind of inconspicuous as I can and just shuffle around the ruins of the Flotsam estate and just kick over some stones, look for bright blue gems.
They're glinting in the sun.
I I take that small pouch that one Fia Isdrum gave me, dump all the ball bearings out, and just kind of drop all the shards into it.
You've gathered as much of the gemstones as you could find. A few guards approach you every now and again. They're like, "Sir, we're going to need you to leave the estate. We have to preserve the crime scene for investigation."
Yeah, I take a long detour down to the Flatstone Park, maybe past the Temple of Brogue, past Gertie's.
And you're heading to the Flatstone Park?
And I'm heading to the Flatstone Park.
Fia, you find yourself, again, every now and again, you just get a flash as you open your eyes and you just see Quillo and he's still talking. There's someone following him up the stairs and you're carried in and you can feel the warmth of home and the smells. And as he lays you into your bed and he pulls the blanket over you, Gartok was responsible for getting the merchants, someone knowing, to move the merchandise from the temple. It was this potion. It had insane properties. It could enhance emotional powers. But once the Flatstones got word of it, Norris and Eugenia became really obsessed with it. Norris in particular, just he saw its potential. Gartok died. I saw him get crushed as we were fleeing the building. I didn't have time to go back for them, so I knew the only thing I could do was get help, to get the guard, to get someone to help me save my sister and her friends and to stop what Norris and Gartok were doing. I know it's soon, and I know it's all just so raw and so fresh, but... And he looks into the room via you lying on the bed. I can't let this happen. Again, this city needs someone who will speak up for the little one. I'm going to run for city council. I'm going to fight for Deep River's position, and I'm going to represent the slums and the people of Barefoot Alley. You could write that down. And the Tezrab Herald reporter is just scratching everything down into a notepad. Kind of seeing you shift and move in the bed, Quillo moves to the room and closes the door. And you're lying there, and again, everything is in this sort of blur and haze. And you're not sure what time of day it is, or if you've drifted in and out of consciousness for hours, but one moment the room is light as if it's the mid-morning sun shining in the window, and then the room is filled with shadows and darkness. And you just see something moving just around the room, slowly, silently. And then you're not sure if it's the breeze that's caught a curtain or a dress thrown over the arm of a chair, or just, a cloak billowing on the corner of a wardrobe. And as you kind of move and shift in the bed, you just feel hands press down on you. Soft, pink, warm skin. Shh. Fia. It's okay. Mama's home. And you feel yourself scooped out of the bed. And you move to the window, and shadows engulf you. Thane, you find yourself in Flatstone Park, and there's people everywhere, just going about their day, as if nothing had happened. As if a great evil didn't walk the earth only a couple of hours ago. You find yourself kind of wandering. People kind of look at you, people are kind of taking you in, and you feel kind of eyes on you, but something out there calls you. You feel it you're drawn to it, and you're pulled towards a gazebo. And there, a statue of Betty and Norris Flotsam stands. And everything, like a mist, descends on the park, and people start to run for cover, and people are pulling their cloaks and hoods up around themselves as this blanket of mist just kind of comes out of nowhere. And there's a coldness with it. I do like this place. It's very green thing.
A lot of life.
For now.
We'll keep it that way.
Well, things change.
So I have a question.
Sure.
Was it always this that you wanted, or did you fully expect me to rip the heart out of an old woman?
Oh. Thane, I would have loved you no matter what you did. Her heart or the gemstone. You always have a choice.
Yeah, I do. But let's face it, with you, there's
Limitations?
no winning.
When I win, Thane, and I will win, then you win.
I scratched the bone on my chest, a little absent-mindedly. Yeah,
Uncomfortable?
When aren't I?
She steps, this figure, again draped in lace, with a veil now made of mist, steps around behind the statue of Norris and Betty, and she just places a bony, cold, wet hand on your chest. It served its purpose. And she just scratches with a broken fingernail straight down the middle of your ribs, and the bones fall away.
Ugh. That feels better.
You've made me very proud, Thane.
It's better than the alternative.
That's true. Unfortunately, and her expression shifts a little bit, though you can't see her eyes, just the lines around her mouth droop. You've also brought danger to our door.
In the form of?
Asmodean.
That I did not know about.
That I thought had been long dealt with. It seems somebody lied. But that matter can wait.
I feel like that's more your domain. I just killed stuff.
What's mine is yours, Thane. And I have a target. But I think, and she runs that same hand up along your neck, over your face, and she lets it rest there. And you can feel the skin kind of pull as she, like on her fingers, as if it's loose, as if this is some sort of skeleton with skin dressed over it loosely. You rest. I took a great risk in helping you. Promise me you will remember that thing.
I won't forget a damn thing.
Wonderful.
I take out the leather pouch. One more question. What is this for? This broken old heirloom?
We do this dance every single time, Thane.
That's what makes it so fun.
True. And with her, like a flick of her left hand and wrist, the bag just disappears. I've told you. I collect hearts. One more for the collection.
Yeah. Well, hey, what's yours is mine, I guess.
You catch on. And she kind of boops you on the nose. With that kind of finger just kind of hovering at her face, she kind of tips your chin up. You seem down.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long time, Thane.
Been a long life.
And it's not over yet.
Yeah.
You, my favorite soldier, deserve a reward.
Don't keep me in suspense.
I'll be watching, Thane.
And you know where I'll be.
She moves around you and just leans in and brings her hands just across you. And she leans in and you just feel her cold lips kiss your neck. And her breath lingers. Watching. Always. And she just dissipates into the mist. And behind you, you hear footsteps climbing the stone marble of the gazebo. Thane Greyline.
Yeah, I heard of him.
It's me,
Who?
Grace. Your wife. Nate, you find yourself at the Copper Rabbit, and like soldiers and traders and reporters, orphans and Clodagh and Marilla, they've all just piled in, and Clodagh is just like, Marilla is just swinging the Copper Rabbit at everyone that comes in within like 3 feet of you. It's like, get off, you bastards, get away from him. He needs his rest. You nosy bastards. And Ike is doing the same thing. Ike has got a little stick and she's waving it as well. It's, yeah, you bastards. Yeah, you bastards. Clodagh just puts a hand on your shoulder and just gives it a squeeze. And she just mouths, "Are you okay?"
I open my hand on hers and say, "Yeah, I'm feeling better now."
When you have a moment, can we talk?
Yeah.
And she lingers for a few seconds, and she heads upstairs, looking over her shoulder at you.
I'm just gonna turn to Marilla and say, "I'm gonna go get some rest."
Yeah, you are, you beast. I ain't even not can keep my Nate down. Now, you be nice. Manners. Please and thank you. And she kind of taps her nose.
Yes.
And Ike does the same thing. Ike taps her nose.
Yes, Mom. Thanks, sis.
Ike's little face just... She turns away because she doesn't want to see anyone see her cry. She's like clenching her little fists. She's going to go punch Jess. You head up the stairs, and just at the end of the hallway, Clodagh stands in a doorway. And then she moves in.
I follow her in.
You step into the room, and you don't see her, and the door closes behind you, and she's just standing there.
Well...
She just throws herself at you with an embrace, and she just squeezes you so tight.
I'm just sort of surprised at first, and then I hug her.
I thought when Marilla said you were gone, and the fire, I thought you were dead.
So did I.
She pulls back, and you just see just sadness on her face, and there are just tears at the edges of her eyes.
But it's fine. It's okay. I'm here now, so it's okay.
I know. And she leans in and kisses you.
I kiss her back.
She runs her hands into your hair, and she just starts pulling at your clothes.
Okay then.
She's pulling at your clothes, and you just start pulling at hers, and within moments, the two of you find yourself naked on her bed under the sheets, and your mind and everything else just kind of washes clear as you feel safe and comfortable. This was Romancing the Dungeon. You've been listening to Diarmid as Thane Greyline, Amber as Hephaesta Tinderson, Louise as Fia Isidrim, and Sam as Nathaniel Obsidian McKnight. Special shout out to Martin Ryan for the amazing theme song that we've been using for this entire season, Love Chords. Make sure you check him out on SoundCloud, Facebook. I'm Declan, and I have been your Dungeon Master. Thank you. Hephaesta, you feel a cold breeze just wash over your back, a rush of water trickling up your feet, the coldness of the earth beneath you. And as you blink your eyes open, you find yourself on a rocky dirt beach. You don't know where you are. You look around and there's just this small cove of rock and dirt and a very dark sea. You can't remember anything. You know your name, but you don't know where you are. You don't know how you got here. Nothing looks familiar. And as you look frantically around this small, tiny beach, you just see a mouth in a cave, and you feel called to it.
And I'll go toward it slowly.
You move and sort of stumble a little bit, trying to get your bearings, your head swimming a little bit, and your body aches. Like there's so much pain, it feels like your bones have been battered, and you can just taste the sand and the dirt in your mouth. And as you stare at the mouth of this cave leading into darkness, you, for some reason, you find yourself lifting your hand up, and red and golden flames just lick at the ends of your fingers. And you hear a voice echoing in the cave. Let love be your light. And at the tips of your fingers, a ball of light erupts as you cast the light spell, and the light orb drifts down the cave. And there, just at the end, you see a tall, white marble totem of a woman twisted around it, smiling, and elves, dwarves, humans reaching up to her, hearts in their hands. I am Hedana. Do right by love. I call you, Hephaesta. Enter. Season 2 begins later this year.